Hello and welcome to Newsroom Series today. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Thank you for joining us. There are 6 geopolitical zones around the country. We'll try and cover the Southwest region for today's program. Thank you for joining us. Troops of the Nigerian army have arrested 43 suspects and uncovered about 27 illegal bunkering sites around the Niger Delta in a sustained operation targeting oil theft as well as pipeline vandalism. In a statement, Acting Deputy Director of the Army Public Relations for the 6th Division, Lieutenant Colonel Jonah Danjuma, revealed that the operation conducted between May 26 and June the 8th spanned 4 states and led to the recovery of over 161,000 liters of stolen petroleum product. Commending the soldiers for their diligence and perseverance, the General Officer commanding 6th Division, Major General Emmanuel Emeka, urged the troops to maintain pressure on criminal networks sabotaging the nation's oil assets. Meanwhile, in a tragic development, the Nigeria Kaduna State Police Command has confirmed the murder of a naval officer, Lieutenant Commodore M. Buba, by a suspected phone snatcher in the Kawo area of Kaduna North Local Government Council. Police Public Relations Officer DSP Masir Hassan told Channels Television that the late officer, who was a senior course student at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, was stabbed in the chest by the unidentified assailant. The incident occurred near the Kawo overpass when the officer had stopped to change a flat tire. As he stepped out of his vehicle, the attacker approached the officer and demanded his phone. When the officer resisted, he was fatally stabbed. Passers-by quickly intervened, overpowering and lynching the suspect on the spot. Despite being rushed to the hospital, the officer was confirmed dead on arrival. In the aftermath, police launched a swift operation in the Kawo area, arresting 13 suspects in possession of knives and other dangerous weapons. The Katsina State Police Command said it has successfully foiled a kidnap attempt and rescued 11 victims along the Dan Musa to the Mara Dangeza village road, and that's in Dan Musa local government area of the state. Spokesman of the State Police Command, Abubakar Sadiq, says the success is part of a significant breakthrough recorded by the command in the ongoing fight against kidnapping and banditry in the state. He says the joint security team patrolling the Dan Musa Mara Dangeza village road encountered a group of armed bandits attempting to escape, with the victims kidnapped from various locations with Katsina State. He gave assurances that investigations are ongoing to arrest other suspects on the run and prevent further occurrences. Now, the federal government has inaugurated the first of the 4 digital innovation and industrial parks in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, with other 3 being executed by the Nigeria Communications Commission in Kano, Borno, as well as Enugu states. Now, commissioning the project alongside the Ogun State government, that is the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dakwa Abiodun, the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, says that the facility revamps the nation's economy through ICT, while the governor promised more collaboration for development. The minister says the digital park is a vital part of the federal government's agenda, which places digital innovation, youth empowerment, and inclusive economic growth at the heart of Nigeria's journey to a $1 trillion economy.
The 400 computer-based Digital Innovation Industrial Park is now officially established in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, a strategic hub created to support youth development in software engineering, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, digital marketing, and more. Equipped with state-of-the-art technology, the facility serves as a center for creativity, innovation, and talent development. Dignitaries converge for the grand unveiling. The Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Governor Dakwa Abiodun, members of the State Executive Council, innovators, Tech stakeholders, traditional rulers, and members of the Computer Society of Nigeria are all present.
The NCC is currently implementing 3 other digital innovation entrepreneurs to develop their ideas into tangible products and prototypes, bringing broadband connectivity and reliable power supply to critical enablers of innovation and digital productivity closer to innovators in Ogun State.
For the federal government, this investment aligns with the blueprint for economic transformation through the Digital Economy Initiative.
This is why we're building the foundations in fiber optic network, in artificial intelligence frameworks, in talent pipelines, and smart regulation. Not just for those who live in Lagos and Abuja, but for every part of our country. Because shared prosperity must be built on shared access to opportunity. And that is exactly what this Digital Innovation Park symbolizes. Access, opportunity, and a bigger future.
Governor Dakpo Abiodun, while commending President Bola Tinubu's economic reform agenda, urges Nigerian youths to fully harness the opportunities the park offers.
The establishment of this Digital Innovation Park reflects a strong commitment to fostering innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. This initiative, spearheaded by the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC), aligns seamlessly with the visionary renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR. A transformative agenda rooted in inclusive growth, digital transformation, job creation, and economic stability. Today, we bring that vision to life.
The glory of the Almighty God and the use of all our students, our sons, our daughters, not just from today, not just from South Nigeria, but from the entire country.
Following the speeches, the ribbon is cut, followed by a tour of the facility by the governor, minister, traditional rulers, members of the National Assembly, and other dignitaries.
The Managing Director of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Mrs. Abimbola Akinjo, says Phase 2 of the Blue Rail Line project will be completed by the end of 2026 and passenger operations will begin in the first quarter of 2027. The Managing Director of Lamata made this comments during an inspection of ongoing transport interchange projects in Marina and Mile 2. Our correspondent, Titi Aberiowo, reports.
The Managing Director of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Mrs. Abimbola Akinjo, and her team are out for an on-the-spot assessment of the ongoing engineering work at Marina that will bring about a transport interchange for commuters. Workers on site are seriously engaged with massive equipment that will deliver the Marina interchange hub for citizens. The Strategic Transport Master Plan project is very close to the Marina train station for easy connectivity of train services, water transportation, and bus rapid transit option for passengers. The Lamata team proceeds to Marina Station, where the construction of a walkway is also ongoing. Mini shops also taking shape along the Marina interchange, and members of the team is leaving nothing to chance concerning safety of commuters.
Yes, that is the idea, not to encourage that.
They make their way into the train station and await the next ride that will take them to Mile 2. Here comes a train which drops off passengers. Then straight to Mile 2. In less than 20 minutes, they arrive at their destination to inspect another ongoing transport interchange project at Mile 2, as well as the Phase 2 of the Blue Rail Line project. Lamata MD is confident that the two transport interchange projects will make commuting a lot easier, and both infrastructure projects will be delivered by end of the year or first quarter 2026.
It is ensuring that we are providing not just transportation, but transport infrastructure that will support the vision of the state, which is to have this integrated intermodal transport system. And that's what these two interchanges are doing to facilitate the integrated system that Lagos is promoting. So these ones for Mile 2, we're looking at the end of the year. For Marina, we're also looking at the end of the year with some constraints, and those constraints were what we identified in Marina when we got there today. If you notice, there are two contractors working in Marina. Federal government are also doing work on the seawall, and we are continuing to do this work. So ensuring that we work together without impinging on one another's program is what we've been managing. And today we have gotten to a place where we have now agreed with the federal government contractor how to give us a bit more room, and so therefore the possibility of completing at the very worst first quarter of next year is what we're looking at for Marina.
The journey continues to Mazamaza area of Lagos to inspect the progress of work for the construction of a new bridge. Lamata says the Mazamaza station will be completed by end of the year, with an appeal to residents not to cross the electric rail tracks and also protect the infrastructure provided by government.
Don't run into the train when the doors are shutting, because you will cause a problem. You will cause a problem for yourself because you could get injured. You can cause a problem for the service because the service may be delayed. And also ensure that you don't cross the tracks. Here it's electric and it's fenced off. It's the same thing. Don't cross the tracks on the red line system either. The vision is that we want to be complete with the structure by the end of the year for all of those stations. Those stations are quite advanced. So we will say, as per the whole project, we're about 40% done. The program is speaking to completion by the end of 2026, so that we can start looking at starting of operations along this side by the first quarter of 2027.
The Blue Rail Line Phase 2 has 3 bridges and 6 stations, which include Festac, Alakija, Trade Fair, Lasu, Volkswagen and Okokomaiko. Lamata assures Lagosians of passenger operation by 2027 in order to reduce road congestion and carbon emission in Lagos State. Titilayo Aberewu, Channels Television News.
More on the Blue Rail project in Lagos State after the break, as the state government goes about improving mass transit infrastructure on Newsroom Series. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Newsroom Series, still on Lagos State's railway transportation and the Blue Rail project. While Lamata is in place for the next phase of the project, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has also been busy inspecting the new set of trains that will travel that corridor. He unveiled 3 new train sets, each comprising 4 coaches at the Igomu train station. According to the governor, the additional trains mark a significant milestone in the state's commitment to improving mass transit infrastructure.
3 new sets of trains parked at the Igomu train station to complement the already existing trains plying the Blue Rail line. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is here alongside the Managing Director of Lagos State Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Lamata, and some members of the state's Executive Council for the unveiling of the new trains that will help improve the Blue Rail services. Governor Sanwo-Olu is excited about the new trains, walks inside to inspect the transport facility and commend the President for supporting Lagos State in improving mass transit infrastructure that will make commuting a lot easier.
The capacity for us as a state government to have embarked on this very audacious expense transaction was made possible by no other person than Mr. President, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who about a year and a half ago, in his usual understanding of what the subnationals are doing and appreciating under his renewed hope agenda, whilst we have seen the effect of subsidy removal, whilst they've explained to us that we're going to see alternative around CNGs that would be running on buses, that you see CNGs on cars, you see electric vehicles coming up as alternative to removal of subsidy.
The governor says the second phase of the Blue Rail Line is top priority and estimates that the ongoing project will be completed by 2026.
Once the full operation is started, once the synchronization, once they can manage, because there's still a lot of things that they will need to manage, which include signalization. They will need to know the headrooms of every train. They will need to determine how long a train stays in a station before the next one comes. So all of those are calculations that the operations will need to do. But I can assure you that at the end of the day, it will turn to better journey experience, shorter time waiting in the stations, better efficiency, reduction in cost, and a better ambience of public transportation that will promise you on the Blue Line stations.
The Lagos State government also gives assurance of more rolling stock for the Red Rail Line corridor to make journey faster and reduce transportation costs for the people.
Also in Lagos State, the government has reiterated its commitment to protecting the state's coastline, building a safer, resilient, environmentally friendly and more sustainable Lagos that it can bequeath to the next generation. The commitment was made by the State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokumbo Wahab, while representing the state at the ongoing United Nations Ocean Conference in Nice, France. According to him, Lagos is a coastal state facing severe climate risks such as rising sea levels, extreme rainfall, and excessive heat, but they're not sitting back watching, rather putting in place preventive measures that will help safeguard the state. He also says Lagos is also transforming the way it manages plastic waste by following a trajectory that has already banned the use of styrofoam food containers and moving on to effect the enforcement of its ban on single-use plastics from July the 1st, 2025, after 18 months moratorium to users and producers. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, is intensifying efforts to encourage responsible road etiquette, discourage road rage, and prevent avoidable accidents, especially from tankers. The exercise, which is ongoing across the southwest region, currently focuses on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, where most of these tanker fires are being recorded. At the stakeholders meeting between security agencies and emergency management officers, the Southwest Director, NEMA, Mr. Kadiri Olanrewaju, stressed the importance for a more responsible approach by tanker drivers and other road users to stop the carnage from tanker explosions and other avoidable tragedies on the highways.
It is envisaged that we will try and use this as a launch pad to let people know how they need to be mindful of fire incident regarding tanker explosion, so that you don't see people trying to scoop fuel when tanker falls, or you try and maintain safety distance when you see a tanker falling. And the CDAs were here, stakeholders were here, and they have been told to take the message down to the grassroots level and see that people are more mindful of this kind of incident, so that we don't have needless loss of life. And it's been a successful program, and I want to wish the organizer, National Emergency Management Agency, a very peaceful arrangement that they gave to us. And of course, it is my belief that after this exercise, things will go well along this street, along the road, and there won't be much tanker fire incident.
The Nigeria Customs Service has urged Nigerians, to patronize only registered pharmaceutical outfits to avoid grave consequences from adulterated products that smugglers attempt to bring into the country. Customs Area Controller for the Oyo-Osun Command, gave this advice in Ibadan at an interactive session with newsmen where pharmaceutical products worth about 40 million naira were displayed amongst other seizures for the public. Some of the other seizures made include 1,698 bags of 50 kilograms parboiled rice, premium motor spirit petrol, used tires and compressors, used clothes, cannabis sativa, and fake pharmaceutical products worth about 40 million naira, all with the duty-paid value of 335 million naira.
In light of the ongoing economic reforms, the command has successfully collected a sum of 25 billion 777,329,328 naira 17 kobo, covering the period of March to May, which represents an increase of 36.67% when compared to the sum of 18 billion 168 million 204,255 naira 4 kobo collected in the same period of the year 2024. The command has achieved remarkable success due to the dedication of our officers and men, the effective enforcement of customs laws.
It is
In light of the ongoing economic reforms, the command has successfully collected a sum of 25 billion 700. I would like to emphasize that these seizures highlight the command's dedication to safeguarding Nigeria's economy and ensuring adherence to fiscal and trade policies. The command's anti-smuggling activities have successfully led to the interception of a significant number of prohibited items. Threats posed by these smuggling activities is severe, and they not only endanger public health but also negatively impact local industries and deprive the government of essential revenue needed for infrastructural development. The command has achieved remarkable success due to the dedication of our officers and men, the effective enforcement of customs laws, and improved trade measures to facilitate legitimate trade. The implementation of modern trade facilitation tools has enhanced compliance among SI stakeholders, ensuring that revenue leakages are effectively reduced.
Stakeholders and political appointees from Ekiti in Irepo-Odun, Felodun local government area of Ekiti State, have formally declared support for the re-election bid of Governor Abiodun Yebanji in next year's governorship election. The groups lauded his development strides in the state, saying that his achievements are people-centered and governance, and his commitment to inclusive prosperity has encouraged them to have him have a second term in office and make it an imperative for him. The statement by the two groups also reads, "This is more than an endorsement, it's a clarion call for continuity, a call to deepen the gains of the past years under Governor Yebanji and chart a greater path towards collective prosperity in Ekiti State." The statement further disclosed that the group will formally celebrate and solidify the endorsement at a grand event scheduled for June the 19th, 2025. That's it on Newsroom Series today. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide McCall.